Hey guys, Chase here with Southwest Indiana Outdoors, and today I'm going to talk to you about getting started transporting your kayak. So first off, let's talk about what are you driving? Do you have a car, small car, a van? Are you driving a truck? Because that's going to kind of determine the different options that you have. Now, you can obviously make some upgrades on what you're driving to add to them, but getting started, let's see what you're driving. So let's say you're driving a car and you have no capabilities of really adding anything to that car. You could always go the route of an inflatable kayak, where the kayak's going to come, sometimes they even come in a bag, and you're able to fully deflate it, travel to whatever body of water you're wanting to fish or just kayak even, and get to and from. And then when you get back home, you just put that up. It's a lot easier to store. So maybe if you have storage issues, or don't have something that you can really haul a larger kayak with, you can look the inflatable route. There are a lot of really great inflatables out there, especially nowadays. If you guys are into kayak fishing, there are some pretty awesome inflatables out there that come pretty rigged up with gear, and you can add a lot of gear to them. So they make them very stable. They are very solid. You think of an inflatable and you think of an air mattress or something like that. It's not like that. You can actually stand on these kayaks. They're a solid platform. You almost can't tell they're inflatable once they're fully inflated. So that may be the route that you decide to go. If so, that's pretty easy. Transporting that, you can deflate it. You can stick it in the trunk of a car, the back seat of a car, a van, truck, whatever. So let's go the next route. You decide that, hey, you want a hard shell kayak and you want to transport it. You've got a car, you've got a minivan where it's obviously not going to just fit inside of. So what can you do? Well, you can, if you have roof racks, you can strap it to the roof racks. You can buy roof racks that actually clamp on to a passenger car, and you can add it to that. You can directly haul it on the roof of your car, strap it, run it through the doors, and strap it down, and then you strap it to the front under the hood and strap a strap in the back under the then you strap a strap in the back in the trunk. So you can go that route. If you have roof racks, you could always pick up something like this. This is what they call a J rack, and I used these for about 2 years hauling the Vibe, and they do work well. I will say that I don't fully trust them myself, because I did have a bad experience. It was super, super windy. We had winds that were hitting, those high 20s, and gusts that were hitting in the upper 30s. And driving down the highway, I heard something happening, and one of the bolts had sheared on that J hook. So definitely make sure, if you're hauling something on that, you're checking it frequently, because the last thing you want to do is lose your kayak while you're driving down the road. But they are an option, and sometimes people will even have those on trailers when they pick them up. So again, roof rack. I suggest, if you have a roof rack, just lay your kayak down flat and strap it to your roof rack. I think that works really effectively. That's what I did a little bit with a van after I had issues with the J hooks messing up. So I drove a minivan for a long time, and that's how I got my kayak to and from the water. Then I made an upgrade and I picked up a truck. I will say, if you are used to hauling and car topping a kayak, and you pick up a truck and you can put that kayak in the bed of a truck, you are never going to want to car top a kayak again. Would I do it if I had to? Of course, because I'm going to get my kayak out one way or another. But would I choose truck bed over anything? Oh yeah, truck bed is definitely nice. If you do pick up a bed, or if you do pick up a truck, I strongly suggest getting a bed extender, especially for a longer kayak. If you've got a 10-foot kayak and you've got a 6 to 8 foot bed on your truck, when you fold the tailgate down, it's probably going to be just fine. Even an 11-foot kayak probably. But if you're going in 12 to 13, even 14-foot kayak, I would strongly suggest having a bed extender on there just to help that kayak. It gives it more support and make sure that you're not going to have it, again, lose your kayak while you're driving down the road. But yeah, so throwing the kayak in the bed of the truck definitely is a good way to haul it. Next, I'm going to talk about what we upgraded to and what I think is the best way to haul your kayak. We upgraded to a trailer, and since we picked up a trailer, transporting the kayaks has gotten so much easier. There's a lot less loading and unloading. You obviously have to load and unload from the trailer each time you get to the water, but I can leave it on the trailer for storage. I'm not constantly, as soon as I get home, having to unload so I can put something else in the bed of my truck. So strongly suggest, if you have a trailer as an option, pick up a trailer. They are really nice. There are lots of trailers out there, and some are pretty reasonably priced, and you can even pick some up on Amazon, and I'll link one right here that I know several people have, and they're really great trailers. So yeah, a trailer is definitely my preferred method for hauling my kayaks. Now, will I still sometimes take my kayaks off the trailer, throw it in the bed of a truck just for navigation purposes? Yes. If I'm going down some really tiny roads, sometimes it may be easier to throw the kayaks in the bed of the truck. But for traveling, especially, being able to, if you've got a closed bed, being able to store all your gear inside the bed of your truck and have the trailer open for your kayaks, trailering is the way to go. Now, you can even get into more serious trailers. Our trailers, we have one goes on bottom. You can put up to 2 to 3 on top of it. But we load the trailers on there by hand. But there are a lot of trailers made for kayaks now, and I know some people craft them themselves, but there are a lot of trailers made for kayaks now that are made for wet launching kayaks. A big example that you guys have possibly seen if you watch Greg Blanchard's channel, if you watch Fishing with Gramps, is the Fish Texas trailers. Those trailers are really top of the line when it comes to kayak trailers. I would personally like to upgrade to one of those in the future, because having that ability to wet launch, you're able to have most of your gear loaded on the kayak and ready to go. And then when you get to the actual lake, you just have to put a few things in, strap it down, and send it out into the water. I think wet launching would be really, really nice. Obviously for our purposes, for our trailer, we're able to leave some things on, but there are a lot of things that traveling down the road we have to take off for them to slide onto the trailer properly. So yeah, having that trailer that's able to wet launch, I think, is a really huge upgrade and something to look into if you're traveling, especially if you got big kayaks. If you're hauling a kayak that, like, let's say the native Titan X that weighs like 150 pounds, or a Bonafide XTR, very large kayaks, I strongly suggest looking into a trailer that you can wet launch from, because the more you have to pick that kayak up and load it onto something, the less you're going to want to do it, because the heavier the kayaks, the less you're going to want to spend time on the loading and unloading. So yeah, look into those. Next, I'm going to get into how to strap your trailer down. So a lot of people, really, I'm sure everybody has ratchet straps. Ratchet straps are so common. We use them to strap anything to a trailer. A lot of people are going to immediately pick up ratchet straps, and they're going to strap their kayaks down to their trailer, to the bed of their truck, to the roof racks, or even, again, strapping it on their actual car, strapping it with ratchet straps. Don't do that. So many people have damaged their kayaks. I mean, I'm talking cracked holes from over tightening. You strap it down, and ratchet straps from being tight will rub, and when you're putting enough torque down on there, when it rubs, it will actually rub a hole into the kayak. And I've seen them literally get a line eaten out of them from that ratchet strap rubbing on them. I really strongly suggest, and so do the kayak manufacturers, and if you go to a kayak shop, they're going to tell you the same thing. pick up cam straps. And for me, the cam straps I use are from Aura Sports. So, sorry, you guys can see right here, Aura Sports. These straps are really nice. I like the feel of them. They're not stiff like some of the other cam straps I've used. And my favorite things about these is the buckle. It's still a steel buckle, but the buckle has a rubber thing that goes on the outside of them and actually keeps it from rubbing up against your kayak when the buckle is on there. Plus, it also has a neoprene sleeve. So again, like I talked about, if you over tighten a strap and you're driving down the road and that strap is continuously rubbing, it is going to rub a notch, and again, sometimes all the way down to a hole in your kayak. These neoprene sleeves actually protect that. So these from Aura Sports, OARA Sports, check them out on Instagram and send them a direct message if you are interested in checking those out. But again, those are the straps that I use. We use them on Kayla's kayak and my kayak, and when I'm throwing on the extra kayaks, I always have a set for those too. So really important to have good straps on your kayak. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any more tips or tricks for transporting your kayak, throw them in the comments and tell me, what do you want to see next on my Getting Started series?